Something is dissolving today. Something you once gripped tightly is slipping through your fingers, and for the first time, you're not fighting to hold on. January 4th marks the moment when the universe begins erasing your old emotional timeline. Not through force, not through pain, but through the quiet liberation of release. The waning wolf moon in Cancer has opened a soul release portal so profound, so spiritually necessary, that every outdated feeling, every old attachment, every worn-out version of yourself is being gently deleted from your energetic field. This is not an ending you planned. This is a cosmic edit you've been unknowingly preparing for. Before we go deeper, leave a like and subscribe. And comment, "I release what no longer serves me," because the universe is listening today, and your words become vibrational commands that accelerate your freedom. Take a slow breath. Feel the weight in your chest. That's not anxiety. That's the final pressure before release. You are standing at the edge of a timeline shift so subtle yet so seismic that in days to come, you will look back at today as the moment everything changed. January 4th is not just another day in the cosmic calendar. It is a portal of emotional completion, the quiet closing of chapters that overstayed their purpose. Yesterday, the full wolf moon in Cancer reached its emotional peak, flooding your inner world with clarity, truth, and the raw vulnerability of everything you've been carrying. But today, as the moon begins to wane, the universe shifts from illumination to integration, from revelation to release. This is the breath after the wave, the silence after the storm, the sacred space where healing finally has room to settle into your bones. Cancer is the sign of emotional memory, the keeper of the past, the guardian of what once mattered. When the moon wanes in this deeply sensitive water sign, it does not simply fade. It pulls the emotional tide back out to sea, taking with it every attachment, every unresolved feeling, every piece of your heart that was tied to timelines you have already outgrown. You may feel it as a softening, a loosening, a sudden realization that something you once believed you could not live without no longer holds the same grip on your soul. This is not loss, this is liberation. The universe is making space for the new by gently removing what cannot travel with you into your future. But here is where today becomes even more powerful. At precisely 7:59 this morning, the moon in Cancer forms its final aspect before transitioning into Leo, a harmonious trine with Neptune in Pisces. This is the energetic signature of divine release, spiritual surrender, the cosmic blessing that allows you to let go without guilt, without regret, without the painful attachment that usually accompanies endings. Neptune dissolves boundaries, softens edges, brings compassion where there once was conflict, and infuses your emotional body with a peace so deep it feels like you are finally allowed to rest. The trine between the Cancer moon and Neptune in Pisces is the universe whispering, "You don't have to hold this anymore. It's safe to release. It's time to trust." This aspect does not force you to forget. It does not demand that you erase memories or deny what once was real. Instead, it transforms your relationship with the past, allowing you to hold it gently without being held by it. You may find yourself thinking of someone or something from your past today, not with the sharp sting of longing or pain, but with a quiet tenderness, a soft acknowledgement that says, "That was real, that mattered, and now it's complete." This is the energy of closure without cruelty, of endings without resentment, of moving forward while honoring what once was. The moon trine Neptune activates your spiritual intuition, opening the portal between your conscious mind and your soul's deeper knowing. You may feel more psychic today, more attuned to subtle energies, more aware of the emotional currents flowing beneath the surface of your life. Dreams may carry messages, synchronicities may appear with unusual clarity. You may sense the presence of guidance, whether from your higher self, your ancestors, or the invisible forces that have been orchestrating your healing all along. Water speaks to water today. Cancer and Pisces, both deeply emotional, deeply intuitive, deeply connected to the unseen realms, join forces to create a vibrational field of compassion, empathy, and spiritual release. This is not the kind of energy that shouts or demands. This is the kind of energy that flows, that dissolves, that washes away what no longer belongs. If you have been holding on to emotional weight that isn't even yours, if you have been carrying someone else's pain, someone else's expectations, someone else's story, today is the day the universe gently but firmly removes it from your field. You may feel lighter without understanding why. You may feel freer without being able to name what shifted. That is the magic of Neptune. It works in the space between thought and feeling, in the realm where logic cannot reach, in the quiet transformation that happens when you finally stop resisting the current and allow yourself to be carried. The waning moon always asks one question: what are you ready to release? But in Cancer, that question becomes deeply personal, deeply emotional, deeply tied to the foundations of who you are. What emotional patterns are you done repeating? What relationships are you ready to see clearly? What versions of yourself are you ready to shed? The universe is not asking you to become someone new. It is asking you to return to who you always were, beneath the armor, beneath the wounds, beneath the survival mechanisms you built to protect a heart that is now strong enough to be soft again. You may notice today that certain emotions rise to the surface, not to overwhelm you, but to be witnessed, acknowledged, and released. Old grief, old anger, old fear, old sadness, these feelings are not returning to haunt you. They are surfacing for the final time, asking to be felt fully so they can finally be freed. Cancer energy does not suppress, it processes. It allows the emotional body to speak its truth, to move through the feelings that were once too big to hold, and to release them with the gentleness of someone who knows that healing is not about erasing pain, it's about integrating it and letting it go. Neptune adds a layer of spiritual grace to this process. Where Cancer might cling, Neptune dissolves. Where Cancer might hold on for safety, Neptune reminds you that true safety comes not from holding tightly, but from trusting the flow. This trine creates a portal where emotional release feels natural, effortless, almost inevitable. You are not forcing yourself to move on. You are simply noticing that the attachment you once felt so strongly has softened, loosened, transformed into something that no longer defines you. This is the gift of today. The universe is deleting your old emotional timeline, not through harshness or upheaval, but through the quiet, compassionate recognition that you have outgrown it. You are not the same person you were 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago. Your heart has learned. Your soul has evolved. Your energy has shifted. And the timelines that once felt so important, so necessary, so impossible to release, no longer match the frequency of who you are becoming. You may feel called to spend time alone today, not out of isolation, but out of a deep need to be present with yourself, to sit in the silence, to allow the release to happen without distraction. Cancer craves solitude when processing emotions, and Neptune amplifies that need for introspective space. This is a day to journal, to meditate, to sit near water if possible, to allow your feelings to flow without judgment or analysis. The more you can simply be with what arises, the more complete the release will be. Do not rush this process. Do not try to logic your way through it. The mind cannot solve what the heart is healing. Trust the softness. Trust the stillness. Trust the tears if they come, and trust the peace that follows them. Some of you will feel this release in the realm of relationships. A connection that once consumed your thoughts may suddenly feel distant, not because you are pushing it away, but because your energy is no longer entangled with it. You may realize that someone you once considered essential to your happiness was actually a reflection of an old need, an old wound, an old version of yourself that no longer exists. This realization does not have to be painful. It can be liberating. It can be the moment you finally understand that releasing someone does not diminish what you shared. It honors the growth that came from it and allows both of you to continue evolving on separate paths. Others will feel this release in the realm of identity. Who you thought you were, who you believed you had to be, the roles you played, the expectations you carried, all of it is being gently dismantled today. You are not losing yourself. You are finding yourself beneath the layers of conditioning, beneath the stories you were told, beneath the versions of you that were built to survive rather than thrive. This is the stripping away of the false self, the shedding of the masks, the return to the essence of who you are when no one is watching, when no one is asking anything of you, when you are simply, finally, allowed to be. And some of you will feel this release in the realm of the past itself. Memories that once haunted you may lose their emotional charge. Situations that once triggered you may no longer hold power. The past is not changing, your relationship to it is. Neptune trine the moon in Cancer rewrites the emotional script, allowing you to see old wounds with new eyes, to understand past pain with new wisdom, to hold your younger self with new compassion. You are not erasing what happened. You are integrating it, honoring it, and releasing the hold it once had on your present and future. This is also a day of deep spiritual attunement. Neptune in Pisces is the higher octave of love, the unconditional, the divine, the source energy that sees beyond form and into the truth of the soul. When the moon in Cancer, which governs your emotional body, aligns harmoniously with this energy, you gain access to a level of intuitive knowing that transcends ordinary perception. You may receive downloads today, sudden insights, flashes of clarity, spiritual guidance that feels like it is coming from a place beyond your conscious mind. Pay attention, write it down, trust it. The veil between the physical and spiritual is thin today, and the messages coming through are meant to guide you forward. Shortly after this trine completes, the moon shifts into Leo, and the energy changes. The introspective, tender, emotionally vulnerable energy of Cancer gives way to the bold, expressive, heart-centered energy of Leo. This is the universe's design. You are given the space to release, to process, to heal, and then you are gently nudged back into the light, back into your power, back into the next phase of your journey. But the release that happens today in those quiet hours before the moon changes signs, that release is sacred. It is the foundation for everything that comes next. You cannot step into the new timeline with the old emotional baggage still strapped to your back. The universe knows this, and so today it removes the weight. If you have been feeling stuck, stagnant, or trapped in emotional loops that seem to repeat no matter how hard you try to break them, today is the day the pattern dissolves. Cancer governs the subconscious, the deep emotional programming that runs beneath the surface of your awareness. When the moon wanes in this sign and harmonizes with Neptune, those subconscious patterns are brought into the light, not to shame you, but to release you. You may suddenly see with startling clarity why you kept choosing the same type of person, why you kept recreating the same dynamic, why you kept returning to the same emotional wound. And in that moment of recognition, the pattern loses its power. You are no longer unconsciously repeating it. You are consciously choosing differently. This is the shift. This is the release. This is the moment the old timeline is deleted and the new one begins to form. The waning moon in Cancer trine Neptune in Pisces is also a portal for forgiveness. Not the kind of forgiveness that excuses harm or pretends pain never happened, but the kind of forgiveness that frees you from the energetic prison of resentment, anger, and unresolved hurt. You may find yourself softening towards someone today, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve the peace that comes from releasing the emotional charge. Forgiveness is not for them. It is for you. It is the act of unhooking your energy from theirs, of reclaiming the power you gave away when you allowed their actions to define your emotional state. Neptune brings compassion into this process, allowing you to see the humanity in those who hurt you, to understand that hurt people, and to release the need for them to be different in order for you to be free. You can hold them accountable and still release the emotional weight. You can honor your boundaries and still let go of the bitterness. You can walk away and still wish them healing. This is spiritual maturity. This is the gift of today. For those who have been grieving, today offers a moment of gentle relief. Grief does not disappear, it transforms. And today, under the waning Cancer moon trine Neptune, your grief softens, the sharp edge is dull. The overwhelming waves become manageable ripples. You may feel a sense of connection with the person or the thing you lost, not through pain, but through love. Neptune reminds you that energy never dies, it only changes form. What you loved is still with you, woven into the fabric of your being, carried in your heart, present in ways that transcend physical presence. This does not erase the loss, but it allows you to hold the loss with more grace, more peace, more trust that love continues beyond the boundaries of time and space. Today is also a powerful day for creative and spiritual practice. Neptune governs dreams, imagination, art, music, and all forms of creative expression that transcend the literal and enter the realm of the symbolic. If you're an artist, a writer, a musician, a healer, today your creativity flows effortlessly. You are not creating from the mind. You are channeling from the soul. Allow yourself to be a vessel. Let the inspiration move through you without trying to control it, shape it, or make it perfect. The art you create today will carry the frequency of this release portal, and it will resonate with others who are also moving through their own process of letting go. Water is the element of today. If you can, spend time near water. Sit by the ocean, walk along a river, take a bath, stand in the rain. Water is the physical manifestation of the emotional realm, and being in or near water today will amplify the cleansing, the release, the healing. As the water flows, so do your emotions. As the water cleanses, so does your spirit. Let the element support the energetic work you are doing, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. By the time the moon moves into Leo later this morning, you will feel different. Not dramatically, but undeniably. Something that was once heavy will feel lighter. Something that once consumed your thoughts will feel distant. Something that once defined you will feel like a story you used to tell but no longer believe. This is the power of the waning moon in Cancer, trine Neptune in Pisces. It does not announce its arrival with fanfare. It does not demand that you notice. It simply, quietly, compassionately removes what no longer serves you and makes space for what is meant to arrive. The universe is deleting your old emotional timeline today. Every pattern you are done repeating, every attachment you are ready to release, every version of yourself you have outgrown, all of it is being cleared from your field with the grace and ease of water returning to the sea. You do not have to force this. You do not have to understand it fully. You simply have to allow it. Trust the release. Trust the softness. Trust that what is leaving is making room for something infinitely more aligned with who you are becoming. This is not the end of your story. This is the clearing of the page so the next chapter can begin. The portal is open. The timeline is shifting. And you are finally free. If this message resonated deeply, leave a like, subscribe, and comment. I release what no longer serves me to anchor this energy into your life. The waning wolf moon is deleting the old, and your soul is preparing for the new. This is your moment. This is your release. This is your rebirth.